Top of the morning to all. All praise and glory to the Almighty, Most High Father, the creator of the air, the land, the seas, the things that's in them and on them. Period. I get that up to the creator. Shit, that's all. That's it in a nutshell. know. But I was just thinking about a song that really made me reflect back on just on our story, not his story, our story. And it was by Gil Scott Heron called "Peace Go With You, Brother." And now understanding what he meant and some of the lines he put in there. And one particular one that really, what I mean, stick with me. He say, all of my children, no, all of our children and all of my children are gonna have to pay for our mistakes one day. Meaning, we those children, but meaning those mistakes that they made back then when they should have dealt with situations when they presented themselves and they just let it let it go up under like water under a bridge, let it roll on by. You know what I mean? Instead of dealing with those issues, they let them go on and on and on and just drop them in their offspring's laps and so on and so on, if you get my drift. But it's a trip that Nat Turner, November 11th, 1831, when they hung him on an oak tree by his neck. And it's a trip how, you know what I mean, he was the head of the rebellion when he rebelled against the slave owners and was hitting them plantations and all that. But in the same token, though, shit, what was Nat doing wrong that they wasn't doing to us already? You know what I mean? And then they get to form their mobs together and come hang one man. Okay, so all the shit that they did to us before Nat Turner acted on what he acted on, before all that, why we didn't hang none of them for doing what they did to us? And that passage over here, all the way to Nat into the 1800s, to when they got us in slavery over here on their lands. Why? Why did none of us get together and hang them like they was hanging and whipping our asses into submission? Why? Just something I just wanted to know. I just want to know why. You know what I mean? And then Emmett Till. And shit, just looking at a fucking white girl. You know what I mean? A motherfucker that wasn't even authority of a citizen's arrest type of shit. Going to his relative's house, pull him out, and go beat him to death. Murdering. And did nothing happen. Nothing happened. Do you see the pattern here? Do you see the pattern? Nothing happened. Okay, moving right along. You know what I mean? Then we got Malcolm X. You know what I mean? He meet his demise in what? Motherfucking February 21st, 1965. Around a gang of our so-called people. By the strict orders of that motherfucker, probably shit. J. Edgar Hoover and was involved, and Nixon and all them, man, because they feared that, man. But what's so cold about it, homie, is how they had our people to do their dirty work, though. And ain't nobody heads rolled. Nobody's, It don't sit right with me, man. You know what I mean? That's what Gil meant about we paying for those mistakes that y'all should have dealt with back then, because they still exist today, because we never came up with solutions to them. No solutions to none of them dilemmas, period. Moving right along. Martin Luther King, you know what I mean? April 4th, 1968. Still, again. Dude go to jail, but don't nothing happen to him still. No heads roll. No heads roll for our folks, man. No heads. I'm just keeping it short and sweet. Fred Hampton, assassinated December 4th, 1969. Do you see the pattern? They can go around and show you the holes in that, but nothing happened. No heads roll. No attempt on J. Edgar Hoover. None of that. Nothing. Don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to spark up nothing. I'm just speaking my mind. They say freedom of speech. I'm just speaking my mind. I'm just letting it be known to the masses of my people that we need to stop trying to fit in with that European when that motherfucker don't give a damn about us. Know that shit. Know that shit. Let that shit sink in. Let it marinate. You know what I mean? Like that. Moving right along. George Jackson, August 21st, 1971, when them pigs killed George Jackson because they couldn't handle him. When them pigs killed George Jackson, homie, and ain't none of them dudes, ain't nobody heads roll for none of these untimely demises, homie, for real though. For real, man. When is enough enough? I'm going to move right on along because then I'm now finna get to a couple of my pours that just, Gil Scott-Heron. You know what I mean? Date of death, May 27th, 2011. Shit, what? He was still spitting that spit. He was still, he was a poet. He was still sharing that knowledge, man. No matter what. Was it a hot shot y'all shot on him because y'all wanted to quiet him down? A week or so later, Geronimo Pratt. You know what I mean? June 3rd, 2011. Man, what's really going on? 2011. Shit, I skipped Bob Marley. Yeah, shit, I'll say cancer. May 11, 1981. They say cancer, but some people say shit, it was something else. There was some strange things going on, man, because he was waking up the masses, man, and we need to really understand, for real though, man, about this strategic plan that these cats put together, man. But it's like once we know, what do we do? You know what I mean? Where do we go from here? Like to say, it's like, man, these motherfuckers can murder us, and I figured it out. They can murder us, and don't shit happen about it. Just like 2010. I can't think of the little young cat name, but you can look it up. You can Google it. He was hung on an oak tree in Mississippi. I think we want to say Greenwood, Mississippi, on the white side. And they say he did it to himself. I know it's not. I can't think of it right now. I'll be mad at myself when I do that. Can't think of it now. But you can pull up the little young guy that was hung in 2010 in Greenwood, Mississippi. And then just to show them that they still doing the same thing to us today. Can you see the pattern here? The same thing to us today. Christopher Jordan Dorner. Same thing. They was burning us, hanging us, and all that. They burned him up in Big Bear, right? See, the same thing. No matter what position or title you hold, or they allowed you to hold, they still consider you that nigger. Nigger. Simple as that. It's nothing cool about that. When it came out, it was disrespect. You can't make no negative into no positive. I don't give a fuck who you are and what you say. It's just impossible. It's like, man, fight fire with fire. You know what I mean? Simple as that. Ain't no turning no other cheeks. None of that. Man, I'm so tired of this bullshit that's going on, man. It irks me too. Woo! But right now, I'm finna get my workout on, man. Till you hear from me again, struggle to bubble. Enlightenment. Just a blast from our stories past. Later.